Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Victoria. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Hopefully I can teach you a little something about abundance because that is what we'll be talking about today. But before we go ahead and get started, go ahead and like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I want to bring up are the misconceptions about abundance. Because when you hear somebody talk about abundance, or if you hear me mention abundance, I think the majority of people, their mind instantly goes to money, right? You think abundance, you think wealth, you think money, you think cash, rich, wealthy, all that. But I do want to clear up the misconception, because I think the misconception that abundance is all about money and wealth can really limit you in your abilities. So that's really the purpose of this video. I want you to open up your mindset a little bit, okay? I want you to think about the possibilities that are out there, because they are out there. So first of all, I'm going to give you the textbook definition of abundance. If you were to go and look up the word abundance or abundant, it simply means a very large quantity of something, okay? It doesn't say a large quantity of money. It doesn't say having a lot of cash. It doesn't say having really good finances or investments or any of that. It is not specific to money or wealth. Abundance simply means having a lot of something, okay? Having a large quantity of something. And those words are relative. They're not very specific. A large quantity is not a specific defined number. It is relative to the person, the individual. Because what may be a lot to me may not be a lot to you. So I also want you to keep that in mind as well. The term abundance is relative and it's general. It is not specific. It does not mean a large sum of money, okay? And so before I get into what abundance really is, I want to tell you guys a little, I guess I'll say story. Not a little story. I want to give y'all a little bit of background into how I came about this topic. So I mentioned in my previous video, my Let's Talk About Trauma backstory video about my life, that I used to be, I don't know if I can say the word, so I'm going to say spicy dancer. Okay, I used to be in that industry. And so the reason I even got into that industry is because I didn't know about abundance. In my mind, the only way to get forward in life was to have money and to have lots of it. And so with that being my mindset at the time, I felt the urge to get it by any means necessary, as long as it was quick and it was a lot. And so that is why I was really into that lifestyle. Okay, we won't get too deep into it because I already made a video on it. You can check it out on my channel if you want to watch. So that is where I used to be before I learned about abundance. Fast forward, I don't work in that industry anymore. I've had the luxury of taking time off and just being with myself, my family, and my kids and whatnot. And I have done a lot of healings, introspective work. I've done a lot of research on these topics. So coming from the mindset of wealth being basically the only form of abundance, once I took the time to really sit with myself, God showed me that there were other ways in this life that I could get ahead, that I could become the best version of myself. And God did this by essentially taking away from me the one resource that I thought was the most valuable, which was money. God took away all my money. I know for myself, and I know for most people, not having money can make you very insecure. It definitely made me feel insecure because I didn't see any value in myself without money, basically. It took a lot of introspective research, a lot of spiritual healing, and growing and learning to love God, to understand that money was not my only resource. Okay? And I want you guys to understand that as well. Because specifically, if you are American, I'm just going to assume that you are, because I think that's where my videos go to. But Americans, and I'm American as well, we are conditioned to believe that money is the source of everything because of freaking capitalism, y'all. Freaking capitalism has us convinced that money is the root of all evil and good. I know people say money is the root of all evil, but there is a subconscious belief that money is the root of everything. That you can't do anything without money. You can't be anything without money. But that's not true, okay? And God showed me. So I'm going to show you guys as well. And I want you to listen. I want you to listen closely. Abundance is simply having resources. Money is just one resource that God has given us. And money is not even a resource created by God. It was created by man. So that should already tell you its value. Okay? There are things that God created and gave to us to use to be our best self, to be fruitful in this life, to be successful in this life, that money cannot compare to. And I really want you to understand that and take that in. Money comes second to everything that God has created and given to us. Not even second, but it comes last, okay? It comes last. And it is hard. It's hard, but it's not impossible to get over the belief that money is first and you need the money in order to do the things, in order to have the things, in order to feel the things, okay? Once you get into the habit of paying attention to and recognizing what your other resources are, and I'm going to give you some examples in a minute, but once you get into the habit of recognizing your other resources, appreciating and using your other resources, you won't even pay attention to the money. The money will just come to you naturally. Okay? It will just come to you. And it'll be an afterthought. I promise you, it will be an afterthought. So when we talk about abundance, I want you to understand that it's not just about the money, and that when you recognize the resources that you already have, that the money comes with it. It's on the tail end, okay? It's on the tail end. So let me give you guys some examples of abundance, of resources that you naturally may have. Like I mentioned before, I had a situation where I got fired from that industry that I was working in, and I literally lost all of the resources, all of the financial resources that I thought were most important in my life. So for a long time, I was without funds, okay? I was without funds. I didn't have a job. Now, I won't say luckily, because it's not luck. I have been blessed to not have to work, not have my own money, and still be provided and taken care of. I thank my fiance for that, and I also thank God for bringing him into my life and allowing him to do that for me so that I can find the peace that I have. But during that time, not having any money, eventually I came to realize that I do have other resources. And the most valuable resource I had at the time, because I was not working, was my time, okay? And that is one resource that everyone has. Everyone has time. God gave it to us. If you woke up and you're breathing, you got life in your body, that is a resource. You are abundant. You are blessed. You have life, you have time, you have energy. That right there is a resource. Because if you didn't have the life and the energy that you have, what would you be doing? Not a goddamn thing. Okay? That is a resource. And honestly, I think that is the most valuable resource that we have, because the soul can't do much without the body. It took me a while to realize that I have a lot of time on my hands. I have a lot of energy. I am awake. I am alive. I am present. And there is a lot that I can do with that, with just that alone. Okay? And there's a lot that you can do with just that alone. So take that in. And let me give you another example. And these are going to be personal for me. You may be able to relate to this, you may not. But these are also some other examples of resource and abundance that I have. First of all, bitch, I'm creative. I'm creative as fuck. And not everyone is creative. That is a resource. That is an abundance that not everyone has. But it's an abundance that I can appreciate. God gifted me with the ability to create, to imagine and think of things, and to have all of these ideas. And then on top of that, he gave me the energy to execute said ideas. Those are gifts. Those are resources. That makes me abundant. I'll give you more examples, and these may be things that you can relate to. If you have family, that's a resource. You may not have money, but you may have family, you may have relationships, you may have people in your life that are beneficial to you, people that love you, people that support you and uplift you. Those are resources. Those are some pretty damn good resources as well. And having all of these resources, not just the money, can really get you far in life. And I know you've heard the saying, it's not about what you know, but who you know. That's because relationships are a form of resource. That's why people who are connected go far in life. They do well in life because they use that resource to their advantage. And you have other resources that you can also use to your advantage. I want you to keep in mind that at all times, you have everything that you need in order to do the things that God wants you to do. And when it's time for you to do more, you will have more. You'll be ready for that more. And I know that it's frustrating when you feel like, or you see other people with so much more. And maybe it just feels like they have so much more. Maybe they have more money. Maybe they have more looks, more time on their hands. Maybe they have better relationships or whatnot. It's easy to get distracted by what other people have. But keep in mind that God will always give you exactly what you need to do the thing that you are meant to do. Okay? If you don't have a job, God took that job away so that you could have the time to find the peace or whatever the plan is. Meditate on it, figure it out. But really take a close look at the resources that you have at the present moment and ask yourself, how can I use these resources for my best and highest good? Because I promise you, you already have the tools in your hand. Okay, you just gotta use them. Okay, I hope that hit home for somebody. I'm gonna wrap this video up, but before I do, I want to mention a little story, okay? And this ties in with abundance. So, like I mentioned, I have a lot of time on my hands because I don't necessarily have a job, right? So I have a lot of time on my hands, and I've been doing a lot of research and looking into things that I've always wanted to do. For example, when I was younger, I always wanted to be a writer. I wanted to write a book. I wanted to be an author. And so I recently looked into basically how to self-publish a book. So like, let's say I wrote a book because I had a lot of free time. I was like, how do I go about this? Right. So I figured it out. I actually published my first book. It's not really a book, it's a journal, but I mean, it has stuff in there that I wrote up. But I self-published it on Amazon, right? So me using my resources, my time, creativity, my energy and whatnot, I created that book. Now, this has been a couple weeks now. So I'm still learning about it, but stay with me. So I self-published this book, right? And I hadn't told anybody about it except for my fiance. I shared it a few days ago on my social media, but like, not really, just kind of vaguely. But I finally got my copy of it in the mail the other day, and my fiance saw it. He got so excited. He was like, oh, I need to do that, right? Because my fiance, he's a doctor, so he has a lot of books that he has already written books pertaining to his studies, and then like books that he's written on his own, but he's never published any of them because he didn't know how to, and he also didn't have the time to look up how to do it. But guess who did have the time? Me. And so that's what I mean when I say God will always provide you with the necessary tools and resources that you need to be your best and highest self. I interchange between husband and fiance, so forgive me. But now my husband is thinking about self-publishing his own books. And now I can actually help him do that because I know a little bit about it and I have some experience with it. So, and like I said, when you use the God-given resources and talents that you have, the money comes right along with it. Don't worry about that. Focus on the talents and the resources that you already have. Because I use my talents and resources to make this book. I may or may not make some money from it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. And me using my talents and resources to help my husband publish his own book, we may or may not make some money from that. But at the end of the day, we're using our time and resources to better ourselves. Okay? I feel so good that I know how to self-publish a book. Now I'm inspired to actually write an actual book. And I might. I don't know. I might. God give me enough time and inspiration. I just might. And so, yeah, I just want to leave you guys with that. Always keep in mind that you are abundant. Money or no money. That God has blessed you with everything that you need at the present moment to do whatever it is that He has called you to do. And there is a practice that you can do every day that I do myself as well every day. Take not even 5 minutes, take 60 seconds to think about all of the things that you have to be thankful for. And don't think about it too long. Just start with, God, I thank you, and let it flow. God, I thank you for waking me up. God, I thank you for putting my feet to the floor. God, I thank you for opening my eyes today. God, I thank you for allowing my body to move today. God, I thank you for putting breath in my body and allowing me to speak. Just take a couple seconds, take a couple minutes to be thankful. And if you're not like super spiritual, you don't have to say God. You can just say thank you. So the universe, thank you. Life, thank you. Whoever, it doesn't really matter as long as you're being grateful. Okay. Practice the gratitude. Practice being thankful. It will help you to realize and open your eyes to all of the things that you have been blessed with. Amen. I was about to do that. Okay. I'm done ranting. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I pray that you all took something from it that you can use in your life that will help you on the journey to becoming your best. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Share it with your homegirls, share it with your friends and family, and subscribe to my channel because I will be making more videos like this. Again, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.